Hey everybody, this is Chris with Overclockers Club. What's that? You want to see another camera review? Here you go. I've got one today from SimCam. Now you might think this is just a regular old camera for looking at your backyard or your front porch, but it's not. It's got a little something else up its sleeve. Let's get out of the box and see what it looks like. Alright, I actually realized just some information here on the box sleeve, so let's see. It's got on-demand live stream, two-way audio, starlight level night vision, event recording, human detection, face recognition, object monitoring, smart home integration, do-it-yourself, AI features with Open SDK. There's even more here. 1080p recording, 5MP snapshot, dual band Wi-Fi, and continuous recording 24/7. So looks like there's some real goodies here. Let's take a look at what all is going on inside the box. That's a nice box, very thick, heavy-duty cardstock there. All right, little quick start guide. It's always good to go through these first and resist the urge to start powering things up. I, of course, always follow that rule. Maybe not all the time. Let's get everything out of here and see what all is going on. Here's the actual camera sort of stuffed down in the packing. It's actually going to take a little more work to get that out of there. There we go. Alright, looks like everything there. They do a nice job with this closed cell foam. They have the shapes all cut out specifically for the items that are going to be packed in there. Keeps stuff from bouncing around and shipping. That's a small camera about the size of a baseball. Very large speaker on the back. At least taking an initial look at it. The power adapter, and it is 12 volt 1 amp output on that. There's a base plate with some brass inserts, some threaded brass inserts there. Looks like some double-sided tape there. And then here, if I can get it out of the bag, is a very nice metal, heavily chrome-plated base. That's nice. Actually, I need to come back to the front of the box. I kind of skipped over it because there's some good information here. It says Intel inside, so we've got some kind of an Intel processor. I'll look into that and figure out exactly which one. It says CES Innovations Awards from 2019, honoree. And down here it says it works with Alexa, works with Google Assistant. Sorry, got an Alexa in here. Never mind, Alexa. We've got 100% privacy.
I don't know that.
Yeah, okay. 100% privacy secured. Local video analysis and storage. That's important to a lot of people. No subscription fees. And AI computer vision detection, no false alarms. So we'll have to do a little testing there and see how accurate that is. But I'm a little curious to see which Intel processor is in there. So the best place to find information about the product is on the website. So I went over to the SimCam website, and they have a nice spec page here, so you can look at all the specs. And right there, the processor is the Intel Movidius Myriad 2 VPU 2450. And I don't have the specs on the processor there, so I guess for my own curiosity, I'll look that up a little later. Gives the sensor name. Video resolution there is 1080p at 30 frames per second. Field of view 100 degrees. Focal length 3.6 millimeters. Here you go. Night vision, the starlight level is up to 50 feet. Video compression is H.264. Person detection distance is 33 feet. Face recognition distance is 15. Object monitoring distance is 33. That's all important information for the AI part. Down here is weather resistance. It's IP54. IP54 means it's protected from dust incursion and like misting. So I don't know if you'd want to use this outside or not, but it sounds like it can get a little bit of water on it. It's not a big deal. Operating range minus 20C all the way up to 50C. We do have the two-way microphone and speaker for two-way communication. There's a 1 watt 8 ohm speaker. Let's see, built-in siren. Dual band Wi-Fi. That's kind of unusual. Most cameras come in with the 2.4 gigahertz, but this has two bands, 2.4 gigahertz and 5 gigahertz. So you got the dual band, I should say, not two band. It's actually dual band. And it does come with a compact flash card. It can support up to 128 gigabytes, but this one that comes with the camera, it's behind this little panel back here. It is 16 gigabytes. Comes with one, which is kind of unusual too. Most cameras you have to supply your own. And then the rest of the information here talks about the apps, or the app, and what's in the box. Okay, so I'm going to look a little bit here for some information on this processor. And it didn't take long after doing a quick search to find out all the information here on this onboard CPU. So you can read all about it there if that sort of stuff interests you. Alright, so the first thing you want to do is get the app installed on your phone, whether it's an Android or an Apple. And then you power the camera up. First thing the camera does is it spins around back and forth, does a quick sweep. And then you sign up for an account after you install the app on your phone. And then after you open the app, you can add the camera. There it is, the flashing green light. I had to get down a little lower to see it. So the next step then is to get back into the app and get my Wi-Fi password in there. Alright, as soon as I powered the camera up there, the light just went from red to green. It asked me...
Connecting Wi-Fi. Please wait for a minute.
Okay. It asked me to connect to the Wi-Fi, so I put in the password, and then right away, as soon as it connected the first time, it realized there was a firmware update, which I pushed the little button there to tell it to go ahead and do the update. And then only took about 15-20 seconds. I was surprised. And then as you just saw, the button, or the actually little light there, went from red to green while it was booting back up. And we are back online. And when it is connected to your Wi-Fi, the little light there changes to blue. And I just realized there's a protective plastic coating on there. Should probably be peeled off. Sometimes these are more obvious, and I didn't even realize that was on there. There we go. And I blocked the front of the camera for a few moments. You can see the infrared LED array there, and they just clicked off now that I unblocked the front of the camera so the light gets to it. And when the light level is high enough, of course the infrared LEDs turn off. And something else interesting, around the back here, you can see where that's ventilated, but there's actually a tiny little fan in there, and you can barely hear it. I tried holding the microphone up there to it, and it's very quiet. But if you hold your ear very close, you can actually hear there's a tiny little cooling fan in there to keep the processor and whatever internal circuitry there is, keeps it cool. And next are a few clips showing motion detection and the general image quality you can expect. here are some examples of not only the video quality, but motion events. So here I am walking outside at night, so you can see what the night vision looks like. And I set that off when I walked into the room. Here is my neighbor walking by, and it picks him up. Since we're not using passive infrared, it picks up motion through the glass. Here I am coming in again at night. So it's another example of the night vision. Quality's pretty good. Nice and clear. And here is a daytime motion event, which is simply a cat walking by, again on the outside. So we're not relying on passive infrared sensors to pick things up directly. They don't work very well through glass. And this actually picked up, again, my neighbor and myself walking across the yard at a pretty good distance away from the window. Still picked up that motion and counted it as a motion event. And I really like that it can pick things up without the passive infrared, relying on that. And the final clip here is really just showing, again, a neighbor walking by, setting it off. I'm not entirely sure if the fire set it off or if he set it off first. My guess is with the size of that fire and it had been burning a while, it was probably the person walking by and not the fire. Now I want to do a couple of quick examples of what I think are the cool things about this camera, and that's the face detection and the object detection. Okay, so you go into the facial recognition settings, and you can do this for more than one person. But I did it here just for myself. So there's me. I'm in the system here for facial recognition. And what you do is you go in and take several pictures of the person you want to recognize. So there's my pretty face. And after you get that in there, of course every time I do that the camera says settings were successfully changed. So now, go back to camera, actually alerts. So I can look at alerts and it will tell me when there's motion detection or a person detected, so it really didn't see who it was. But here it picked me out. This one here, you get the different little facial icon. And this one saw my face and was able to say that it was me. Alright, so when I walk in the room, it should pick me up and give me a face recognition and identify me. And then I put a red box, it's kind of hard to see there, around the case. So I'm going to move the case. So there should be a notice for my face detection and the object movement. So let's see what happens here. I'm going to do this holding two cameras. Close the door. Alright, so it picks me up walking into the room, and then I will go ahead and move the case. And then there should be, there we go, there's the face recognition and object monitoring. Two here, so I'll go back to the alerts. And let it update. And there we go, we've got the face identification and then the object monitoring there. And it captured the video, so there's the object monitoring, me walking in the room, and the event that would trigger that would be when I move the case. And then of course the second event there, let me go back, is the facial recognition, and it picked up my pretty face. So hopefully all those little clips of face recognition and the object detection makes sense. What I was trying to do is just show that you get a notice when it does pick up a face or there's a person detected, or you define an object position and that object gets moved or changes position or disappears altogether, you do get a notification. That's sort of the whole point of this camera. Now here's the decibel meter, and when I'm not talking, it drops down to around 35. Now I'm going to trigger the alarm, and the decibel meter is about 2.5 feet away, and we can see what the decibels go up to. Okay, here we go. All right. Well, I can tell you that that is ear piercing. Now I'm in a fairly small room, so it's going to sound even louder, but that alarm definitely gets your attention. So now I'll show what the two-way audio sounds like. You can actually adjust the output on the speaker. You can control the volume level. If it's turned all the way up, it really washes everything out. But if you adjust it down a little bit, it should be better. So let's see what it sounds like.
So this should be an example of the two-way audio quality. And again, you have to adjust the volume to get the right balance so that the sound comes through clear and easy to understand.
And now just to walk through the phone app. So this is what you get. This is on an Android phone, but it looks very similar on an iPhone. But you go to this main first page here. You can change the camera name if you want. The device settings are all available here. You can make some adjustments here. Here's the pedestrian tracking if you want it to follow or track around the room. So when you move, the camera itself moves. Now you do have left and right tracking. You do not have up and down. You do not have the tilt feature, only pan. And there is an adjustment, a hard adjustment. You can sort of click it to the various detents and you can adjust the angle. But as far as the motorized function, it's only left and right or the pan feature. So back to this. Let's see, camera information. There's your AI and facial recognition. You can set these up, make all the adjustments and sort of fine tune that. There's your zone detection. All that stuff there. Firmware update. They're pretty good at keeping their firmware updated. I've had several here. And also updates to the phone app. They seem to do a pretty good job of keeping that rolling. Also, the NAS hard disk configuration. I tried getting it to communicate with my TerraMaster NAS boxes, and I don't know if I have the permissions set wrong. I haven't really fooled with it, but it's supposed to be able to dump data, or video I should say, to that type of a server. And then the other setting here, here's where you actually define your facial recognition settings, where you take pictures of various people, and it's stored in here for the AI facial recognition device list if you have more than one device. That's pretty much it for the most part. And then you can go to your different alerts. The library here, and I don't really have anything stored yet, but that's where all your pictures, snapshots, and video that you stored would be. And the other thing I like, if you scroll up here, instructions, this is where your user manual, everything you need is right here as far as setting things up, so you can walk through the process again if you need to. It's nice to have this quick reference all right here. Shows you what to do, how to do it. Oh, this is just the, yeah. Anyway, yeah, it shows you how to do your object detection, and these are all your different categories here. Thought they were clickable, but they're not. So anyway, it's just nice to have all this stuff here readily available. And there's a nice frequently asked questions section. So you can go through, and based on the category here, there's some general questions about firmware updates, live streaming, how to do that, any problems, other problems. So it's kind of nice to have all that right here. You don't have to have another computer running. So anyway, that sort of runs through the basic functionality of the phone app. So this is the SimCam AI home security camera. Works with Google Assistant along with Alexa. Sorry, Alexa.
No problem.
Right now you can find it on Amazon for about $89. I think it's a pretty darn good value. I really like the face recognition. Seems to work very well. The object detection works well. The ability to store video on the SD card. I had no issues with that at all. No problems retrieving it through the app. Nice little compact camera. So I have no problems giving this the Overclockers Club Gold Award. This is Chris with Overclockers Club. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to subscribe.